Okay, this idea was given to me by this person. He gave me a few ideas, like what if Belle had 10 tails? What if Belle had Bond's powers, which that's what I'm doing now? Uh, what if Bella had Excalibur from the Deadly Sins? I don't know how even to work the Excalibur in Deadly Sins, like at all. Like I haven't got that far. So yeah. Anyway, so we're going to start this off with Bond, not Bond, uh, Meliodas dying. Uh, he got now. How do I explain this? He got stabbed in the heart 7 times. At least that's what I heard. So how would he how would he die if he got stabbed in the heart 7 times? Let's say that he got his head removed. Yeah, that's the easiest way I can explain it. His head is now gone completely. So, uh, with that, Deku goes and me not Deku Bond, me Meliodas, goes into I would like to call uh hmm rebirth mode, basically, might as well call it. And he basically hears this almost like a computer like voice saying, "Would you like to be reborn?" Meliodas, thinking this is like his way to get back to his friends, he says, "Yes, I'd like to be reborn." Uh, and it says, "Okay, what would you like your stats to be?" Meliodas says, a little bit over average, but nothing too special. It says, "Okay, what do you?" And Meliodas says, "Why do I feel a little bit cold?" And it said, "Okay, creating a body that is immune to uh, coldness." I'm basically getting this from what if the time I was reborn as a slime? I'm getting that from that part for now. But he's not going to be a slime. He's going to be Belle, and Belle's just going to be immune to cold, fire, not not bloodless, or like he still can get hurt basically. So he still can. Meliodas forgot, like he didn't feel pain, Meliodas, because he got his head like completely severed. So he didn't feel pain. So and it said, and he said, like, and then he said it like this to remember and said, "I guess I'm dead, right?" I wish I was a little bit more active in my life. And then he says, only if there's like another personality inside of me that made me like more hyper and more active, and that's where a Bell is going to come along, and he's basically Meliodas' is main personality. Now that makes him more active, more hardworking, and more like uh how do I put it? More uh driven to get to his goals. And I should say this now. I haven't watched that much of the Deadly Seven, the Seven Deadly Sins. I literally have only heard of it 4 to 5 times, and I did a little bit of research for this video, and that's really basically it. And I probably watched like episode 3, like only to episode 3. It's not like it was a bad anime. It's just I stopped watching it. Okay. Anyway, let me make sure I'm still recording, because that literally it cut out recording like 3 times. This is my third time doing this video, so if it seems a little bit rushed, my bad. Uh, so let's start off where not Deku, where Bond is born, and well, Meliodas slash Bond is born, and I might as well give away his skills. I'm not going to give away his stats yet because I want to save that for later. I might as well give away his stats and his magic skill, and that's all I'm going to give away. His only magic skill, and his only skill is reborn. His only skill is Meliodas control. He has two. His only skills are Meliodas control and rebirth, and basically because he got rebirth, reborn basically. So if he dies in this world once, he gets reincarnated into the same body. But if he dies twice, he goes back to the world of the Seven Deadly Sins. And I'm basically going to watch up on Seven Deadly Sins, so I know a little bit more about it, so I can like piece that in somewhere at like a fitting timeline, at least not timeline, but like a fitting frame, and I can like go back and forth whenever I want. And when he does that, the skill says you'll be able like to travel back and forth in like with the will after he dies in that world again. So after he gets his head cut off twice, in or dies twice, he can like go back and forth between worlds basically. So, uh, let's see. Bond, he's basically a normal kid, just a little bit over smart and a little bit too active for much, like for how old he is. So he stays up late just reading books, and I'll say trying to get stronger, because his grandpa read him the book about the dungeons in the hero. Like that, he read him that book, and Meliodas talked to Bond. Bond doesn't know Meliodas is in his head, but Bond can influence not Bond. Meliodas can influence Bell a little bit, not a lot, but like he can give Bell some ideas and stuff. So he basically told Bond it might be a good idea to become a hero. Not a hero, adventurer, so we can become a hero. And Bond, like, because Bond thought that was like his idea, so he said, that seems like a fun idea, let's go for it." And basically what that made Bond like overwork himself almost, basically staying up late reading books on like fighting stances, fighting styles, which he really didn't need to, since he had Bond in like his head, and Bond already knew all this, like how to fight, but he still did. And he actually picked his own, like, because he still has Bond's sword, but he picked his own weapon. He's like, I like this sword, I'll learn how to use it still. But he ended up liking like daggers and stuff like that a little more. So I'm still going to give him his knife, because that's like a Bell trait almost. So I'm still going to give him his knife. He ends up almost, I might as well say, in love with using knives, and that's why he didn't get addicted to using his sword. And he practiced using knives, and his one sword with some weird dragon skulls, and I think it had like some teeth-ish looking things on it, to what I've seen. And he has the tattoo, but it grows with him basically. It's almost like it's almost like Bell's sword. And basically the more times Meliodas takes over, the more power of Meliodas Bond will have. And Meliodas has only taken over Bell 3 times to save his life. Let's say the first time he was getting his house was getting robbed, and Meliodas took over and had to fight the people away. Second time, he was Bond was getting picked on because he wanted to be a hero. Still, because like heroes died out, and Bale was saying like he wanted to be a hero and stuff, and people was making fun of him for that, and they started to beat him up, and Meliodas had to jump in and like fight then. And let's see, what's another time. Let's say Deku Bond got lost in a cave, and a bear attacked him, and Meliodas had to jump in and defeat the bear. giving the skill Meliodas a 3-time enhancement, making Meliodas's tattoo grow, not bigger, but like start to appear. I don't know where it was. I think it was on the hand, like shoulder, making it appear on the shoulder, just a little, like making some of it appear and like staying there. Then not Deku, Bon, might as well time skip when he gets into his familia. That happens, and now I can give away his stats. Let me make him start recording. Okay, now I can give away all his stats. His stats are one magic skill, full counter, his strength stat and his physical strength stat. His regular strength stat is 40. His physical strength stat is 50. His knowledge is at a 90. His agility is at a 60. His level, he's only a level 1. No, that's too strong for level 1. Let's make him a level 2. I'm going to add another skill, and it's called not like a skill, but like another thing that keeps track of stuff. I'm going to call it mastery, and that skill is basically what you have, like what swords and stuff are you good at, and what it is. Bond's mastery is daggers and sword, long sword, and let's see, and stealth, and that's like all the mastery that he has. And let's get into the dungeon parts. The dungeon, like his first dungeon raid arc, might as well call it that. So he goes to the dungeon and he's fighting wolves, like little, I guess, wolves that really can't use any magic. They just jump at him, and he pulls out his knife, which is pretty cheap. It's basically almost like a kitchen knife, almost. It basically looks exactly like that. Let's say it's a kitchen knife. He pulls out his kitchen knife, and he cuts it right in the mouth when it opened its mouth. He cuts it straight down, all like completely, basically cutting it in half. It disappears in the black smoke, dropping not too big of a crystal, almost as big as a pinky. No, half of the pinky, and it's pretty skinny, so it's not worth that much. And he says, I'm going to give him a magic skill card, price tag, and it basically lets him tell like the true price or the price of any like item, so he cannot get scammed or whatsoever, because he can literally just use price and see how much the true price is on any item or any like weapon. So he can even trick people into a lower price if he needs to, if the price is like way too high. Cause like might as well give him that skill. Oh, and I'm going to give him a skill a little bit later, a magic skill just a little bit later, like into this video. Anyway, that's not important. So he basically just goes around cutting what's up down their mouth, cutting them in the stomach, and just completely annihilating them. And then he gets into a corner, and as he's a dead end, so he's like, okay, dead end. So he starts turning around, but it's a Minotaur right in front of him as soon as he turns around. And Meliodas says, I literally have to take over on your first dungeon raid. Oh my god. And he automatically, Meliodas takes over. Meliodas says full counter and cuts the beast, because the beast, no, not the beast, what's it called? Minotaur was about to cut Bell like in his stomach. So when Meliodas took over, pulled out Meliodas' sword and said full counter, it's cut the beast right down his stomach. In Ice, Wallenstein sees that a level 1 just beat a Minotaur like it was nothing, and Meliodas saw it was just like a regular beast, just a little stronger, like a boss almost. He's like, okay, so that was probably like one of the boss goons for like this floor. I got a lot farther in my first one. I guess I went in a lot of detail maybe. Well, my second take.